What's happening, guys? So I want to talk about elbow pain today, and not just elbow pain, but really any types of pain, because this video could really help a lot of people. I'm hoping get rid of a lot of the pain that you have if you've struggled to get rid of it for a long time. Even with the help of medical professionals, perhaps you're still dealing with it. Now, this won't be the cure-all for everything, but it does help a lot of people in a lot of areas. So stay tuned if you're dealing with pain, because it might be able to help. Now, first things first, of course, I'm not a medical professional, and if you think you have a serious problem, please go get it checked out and don't just take my advice. But if you're like me and you've struggled with certain types of pain for a very long time and you didn't really have any success with getting it fixed, hopefully this will help, because I spent over a year trying to get rid of my elbow pain, going into doctors, got MRIs done, did the whole 9 yards, never could get it fixed. Well, thankfully I finally figured it out. I actually stopped doing what I was doing to cure the elbow pain, and now it's starting to come back into play again. So that's why it's kind of on the forefront of my mind, because now I got to go back, redo the things that I was doing before and get it going again. So whether it's your elbow or your knee or your ankle or anything else, this could help you. It really could. And actually I recommend this book here. It's called the Trigger Point Therapy Workbook. I don't know, I could really use some autofocus in my life, but anyway, this book has helped me tremendously. You know, when I first got it, I was dealing with some really bad Achilles pain. Terrible. I seriously thought I was going to snap it up because it was just so painful. And really all it was a little trigger point on the inside of my calf. I worked that out, and within like 2 days, the pain was completely gone. It was absolutely amazing. So I recommend that book for pretty much anybody, because it can really help. And this is kind of where I got some of these ideas from. Some things I do exactly like the book says, some things I kind of take and do my own little twist on it. But I've had a lot of success getting better, so let's go over it. Now, for me, elbow pain, I was getting it really bad. At first I was getting it really bad right through here, and it moved around a lot. Okay, so for a while it was here. After some time, it was back through here. I've had it down through here. I mean, pretty much my whole arm, all the way around my elbow, just dealt with different types of pain. And most of the time, especially when I bench, as I was lowering the bench, it would just be like, it felt like my arm was gonna snap in half. It was so painful. What did I do to get it fixed? Well, it involved this little guy, lacrosse ball. This little lacrosse ball right here is the entire reason I'm able to lift again, or at least lift pain-free. The thing you gotta realize about this pain, a lot of time it's referred pain. Before, when I was having pain through here, I worked out a trigger point up here, it took care of that pain. A lot of time pain refers away from where the actual original source of it, so you gotta keep that in mind. It's the hurt that you are feeling might not necessarily be where the hurt is coming from. You have to keep that in mind all the time. And working out trigger points has been a godsend to me. Now, I feel like I gotta give you a little bit of a warning. Now, while it does cure your pain in the long run and it's worth it, it does create a slight bit of discomfort while you're actually doing it. Breathe through the contractions. Breathe through the contractions. You gotta want it. So what I'm doing right now to get rid of the pain, I actually have worked out a couple already. I had really bad one right through my forearm, right through here. That took care of some of it, but there's still more there. So then I started getting it through here, took care of that. And once I got rid of that, now I'm going back through here. And this has been true throughout this entire process. It usually takes me getting rid of multiple trigger points in order to be completely pain-free. I'll free up one spot, and then all of a sudden I'll feel it somewhere else. I'll free up that, I'll feel it somewhere else. And it took me going, so that's why it took so long to get rid of the pain for me, because I was always working out in new spots, but I finally got rid of them all, and the elbow has felt fantastic up until this last 2 or 3 weeks here, and it's because I stopped rolling them out like I should. Alright guys, so what I recommend you do is you take a lacrosse ball, put it against the wall, and just kind of slowly roll up and down, move in different places until you find spots that hurt really bad when you press against it. That's going to be the clue that you've probably hit a trigger point, as long as it's actual muscle that you're hitting on. So you'll roll around, once you find a sweet spot, that's where you stick it. Right there is where I've been really feeling it lately. I've hit that and I was like, holy cow, that kills. So that's where we've been working at. I recommend going about 15 to 20 seconds rolling up and down like that. Don't just leave it in the same exact spot. And I do that about 4 to 6 times a day, and usually within a few days it starts feeling quite a bit better, but it could take a week or two for it to go completely away. It just really depends on a lot of different things. You can also use your finger to try different spots, like your biceps. Like this right here is pretty tough to use a lacrosse ball to hit your biceps, so you can use your fingers, you can use your knuckles, whatever you need to do to try to work these out. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. A lot of times you're going to find it in the forearm, so you do the same thing with lacrosse ball against the forearm. Sometimes they get in deep enough, you're going to have to press up against it on the opposite side to really get in there. It just really depends on where it's at, how bad it is, and all that. In time, you'll get better at it. This right here was a really tough one for me. I thought I'd hit all the trigger points, but I was still having some pain, and when I finally figured this out, it really broke through for me. Leaning over on a table or a box, whatever you can, to kind of get at that spot and really press down and get enough pressure to actually hit it and really get good pressure on it. So sometimes just light pressure do the trick. Sometimes you really got to give a lot of firm pressure. It really just depends on how bad it is. Alright guys, I hope that helped. Please keep in mind that this is not the answer for everything, but it could certainly help, and you want to do it consistently, because if you just do it every now and then, it's not going to do a whole lot of good. You want to continue to work it out, and even if your pain goes away, make sure you continue to work out your trigger points if they're still active, because if they're still active, it's going to come back again. So you want to keep working it out even if your pain goes away. Work it out. You should feel a whole lot better. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video.